Hi, I'm Bart Hanson, the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
That's 2-5,
Okay.
1,000 cap.
In the Ottawa area, or
Yeah.
what casino is
It's
that?
Lac Limi Casino.
Okay.
So in this hand, we're 2,700 effective.
Okay.
Villain is a loose player that plays bigger sometimes, 5-10, 10-20. So he's very aggressive
Okay.
and very tricky.
Okay.
So under the gun is a pretty bad fish that calls too much. He opens to 25 under the gun. Other guy calls, and I have queens under the gun +2, so I make it 115.
So under the gun to 25, under the gun one calls, and you have queens, and you make it 115?
115.
Okay.
Yeah. Villain, who's in the small blind, folds around to the villain in the small blind. He makes it 325.
And this is the guy that plays like bigger, you think?
Yeah. He plays bigger, and he's like really aggro. So.
Okay. That's a really small cold four bet. I mean, he makes it like less than 3. Well, yeah, less than 3x. The interesting thing here is with these stack sizes, I can't even imagine any hand that you would 3-bet and fold here when this guy makes it so small. That's why that size is sort of poor. The other thing, too, to notice, I mean, talking about his sizing, the other thing, too, to notice about this particular configuration is that you really should have a lot of strength here. I mean, I know the fishy guy's under the gun, but, I mean, you're under the gun, too, raising an under the gun raise and then an under the gun one call, which should be very, very tight ranges. So when you 3-bet that, the small blind shouldn't really have that many 4-bet bluffs, if ever, in reality. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how good or bad he is, and I don't know if he's ever thinking about those things, but this is how I would think about pre-flop. So he makes it 325, and then what happened? Did the other two guys fold?
Yeah, the other two fold, and basically I don't think I have much of an option to just call.
Sure.
Like, I'm not.
Right.
I don't think I'm ever raising there because I feel like
no, of course not.
He's gonna. I'm not getting called by worse, basically. So
yeah. So go to the flop, and it's about 700 or so, right?
Yeah. So it's King Queen 10.
Rainbow?
Yeah, rainbow. Sorry. So he thinks about it for a little while and bets 525.
Again, this is a spot where I don't know how competent the small blind is, because if I'm the small blind and I have aces or like ace king here, this is a disaster flop for your 3-bet call range. But I don't know if he's competent like that, though. I mean, here you're really you're losing to kings, obviously. But guys at like 2-5 1K cap, they don't know what's going on a lot of times, and they'll just bet aces like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and that, like, my initial reaction was that if he has aces, like, I thought he would check the flop. So I was kind of like not nervous, but I mean, I didn't really know what kind of hand he was betting, like, judging by his range pre-flop. I was like, okay, like, what is he betting here? Like, it didn't make much sense. But I called and decided to
I think that's
see
good.
what he would do.
Yeah. So hero calls. So now the pot is almost 1,800, right?
He's
probably right?
around 1,800,
yeah.
1,700, 17 and change, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
So turn is 3 of diamonds.
3 of diamonds.
The king of the king of diamonds was on the flop, so it's king and 3 of diamonds.
Okay, so king and 3 of diamonds. By the way, with the pot being just about 1,800, you guys have maybe about a pot size bet left. So turns to 3 diamonds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he checks.
Okay.
So I'm thinking if he has kings, I think this would be a decent spot. Like, if I have jacks, sometimes possibly some people would try and take it away with jacks. I guess sometimes is
No,
what I'm
I
thinking.
don't think so. You talking about like if somebody had jacks here
Yeah, he might try to make.
in your position, they would try to
Yeah,
take the small blind off the hand. Nah, I don't buy that.
if he has aces, is what I'm thinking. Like I don't know if he would think that, but I was sort of not expecting, but I thought if I bet the turn, I could get check raised and be like in a pretty awful spot.
I would
So I
still. I
decided to
mean,
check back.
you only have a pot size bet left,
Yeah,
right? Like you're not gonna
yeah,
fold. I mean, you weren't really gonna. How can you
yeah.
fold middle set anyways? I mean, you lose to pocket kings. Yes, ace jack suited like one in a million times. I don't buy that. I just don't think
Okay,
pocket kings is checking the turn on this board. So I really do think you have the best hand. So what if you get check raised all in? If you somehow don't
okay.
have the best hand, you're gonna get coolered. But I would definitely bet. You don't have to bet that much. You know, the pot's 1,800. You could bet 500. And if he calls, the pot will
Yeah,
be like 2,800, and you've got like 1,300 left. You could bet one third pot, I think, is what I would do here on the turn. One check, too.
okay.
Yeah. But you check it
So
back.
so yeah, so I check back.
Yeah.
River's a king,
Okay. I mean, that
and
gives. Does that make your hand stronger or weaker?
it makes it obviously stronger
Yeah. I mean,
because
now
obviously
for some godforsaken reason, if you had like ace jack, you win, and obviously there's only one combo of
yeah,
pocket kings, right? So,
yeah, exactly. So he bet 725.
um, yeah, you just have to move all in. I mean, how can you
Yeah,
not?
okay.
Yeah, I mean, how can
That
you
was my
not? What do you
question.
lose to?
Well, I know I'm only losing to kings. I just think I think that like he's competent.
hmm
Like I think as in like he's gonna fold every time that I'm beating him, and he's just gonna call with kings is what I feel.
But what is he betting on the river though?
Basically, the only hand possible I thought was ace king, which to me I was surprised that he would bet ace king on the flop. But I mean, it's the only thing that made sense.
But he's not going to fold ace king when you check back the turn though. Now, no way. I mean, he bet 700. You only have like 1,100 left. I mean, when he bet seven, right into 18,
Yeah,
the pot
yeah,
would be 32. It would be like 43-11 for him to call, right? Yeah,
yeah.
4,300, 1,100 for him. He's not going to fold ace king after you check back the turn. No way.
You don't think so?
No,
Okay.
no.
I'm surprised. But one of the questions that we were discussing with some of my friends was also from his point of view, and how much do you think he should bet on the river with ace king? Like,
I
uh,
mean, I would bet really small if I was him. Here's the thing: like if I was in his spot, first of all,
yeah,
I don't think ace king is really that much of a bet on the flop. But like I said, let's say we get here on the river.
yeah,
The way that you played the hand, I would never have thought that you had pocket queens really. And what
okay,
would I be targeting if I was him? I would probably be targeting, you know, Jesus, like pocket jacks, or I would just bet
yeah,
really small if I was him. Like I'd bet like three or
okay,
400 and try to have you somehow find a call with some hand. You know what I mean?
okay,
700 is probably a little bit big. I think. I think
okay,
that's a sizing mistake by him if he does have ace king. I don't know what he thinks you're calling with, and people can say, well, what about other kings? Look at the preflop action, because the ranges should be so tight in this spot because of what happened
yeah, yeah,
preflop that you just
hmm,
don't really have king jack suited. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you don't. So what do you have here? I mean, your hand is really like jacks, queens, ace king. Um, that's pretty much it. Maybe like some
yeah,
ace queen suiteds because the four bet was so small, and that's what I'm saying. I would just throw in like a
yeah.
ridiculous bet at the end if I were him. But anyways, it sounds like me. It sounds to me like you did not shove.
I did not shove. No, I just called.
And what did he have?
He had ace king.
Yeah. So 700, and Hero just calls, and then I imagine that you felt bad after that.
No, I
You
felt
didn't?
fine.
Oh, okay.
No,
I would
I
feel
mean,
bad.
even after seeing his hand, I just pretty much I know him, and I'm like almost 100% he would fold ace king there. But I mean,
How
I
can he
couldn't see
fold?
a hand that
What's your name again?
Eve. I didn't actually say my name.
Eve. So how can he possibly fold ace king, given the pot odds and given the whole action in the hand? Like, what does
Yeah, I
he
think
lose to?
Um,
The only hand that he
well,
really
basic,
loses to is like pocket queens because
yeah,
I wouldn't
and
because I don't think that
yeah,
first of all, I don't think that tens would raise the river. I sometimes tens
yeah,
won't raise the river, like you didn't raise queens. So I'm like
yeah.
pocket queens, but how do you have pocket queens when you check back the turn? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
He's going to be getting
Yeah.
4-1. Now I know the bluffing frequencies are off, but I think you might give that guy a little bit too much credit if you think he's going to fold a
Okay.
$4,300 pot for 1,100 more in a 4-bet pot with ace king on a king queen 10 3 king run out the way that this hand went down.
Okay. I appreciate your
All right, buddy.
your
Thank you
comment.
for the.
Yeah.
It sounds like you were a first caller. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA100. Click on the link right there.